Pow! Welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. My name is of course Dan W. Make sure you're following me on Instagram. Today our Marvel Legends reviews continue with this Build-A-Figure Hulk wave from the brand new Thor Ragnarok film. Doesn't come out until November, but we have the figures right now. In front of me we have one of the comic version figures from that wave. In front of me we have 9 Realms Warriors, or AKA, it's obviously Ares people, the son of Zeus, the brother of Hercules, Ares, the god of war from Greek mythology himself in his comic book glory. This box is packed with accessories and the box definitely has a bit of weight to it, heavier than other figures. So yeah, look forward to opening this guy. Not the first time we've had him in Legends form, but I'll get into that as we open him up. But for now, let's look at the box. Picture of the God of War on the side. On the back, he shares the box art with the other 9 Realms Warrior, as I'm guessing it's Odin's son. As always, we have a list of all the figures. In this wave, we need to complete the Hulk Build-A-Figure. Today we're reviewing Ares. There's a picture of Odin's son on the other side, and yeah, so as I said, this box is packed with accessories. So without further ado, let's open them up and see what we've got. Pow! And here we have Ares out of the box, the god of war. Again, be careful when you open this box because I popped my Ares off right at the waist. Like, see, look, that happened to me as soon as I pulled it out of the box. And again, I'm panicking, I broke the figure. So the joint, I don't know if it's just my figure, but it's very, very loose. That is not meant to happen. So hopefully I've not broke it, but yeah, that happened to me. There's his helmet as well. So surprise, the helmet comes off, but the helmet's meant to come off. But the waist certainly isn't. In regards to accessories, it comes with Build-A-Figure pieces for Hulk. So obviously subscribe, stay tuned to the channel as I will be reviewing the Hulk once I've reviewed the rest of the figures in this wave. Gladiator Hulk review to come, subscribe. Put them out of their way. And then he also comes with some weapons. Of course, he is the god of war. He needs some weapons. So he comes with an axe and a giant sword. So he has grip in hand, so we can hold both of these. But as I said, because I've just got this out of the box, the hands are very tight. So he grips them very well. To be fair, they're quite big. So it's good that he's got a strong grip. As you can see, you can hear that squeaking. So there you go. Now he's holding both his weapons. What annoys me about Ares is that he's constantly looking down, like all mysterious with his like white eyes, and so you can't articulate his head at all. Like apart from left and right, it can't go back and forth. So he's constantly like looking down. So when he's posed, he just looks a bit dodgy. I know he's meant to look like that, but yeah, a little bit dodgy. So look at these accessories, impressive knife, sort of axe thing. It's an axe, what am I talking about? Then obviously a giant sword, tiny bit of sculpting, a bit of scuffs and marks. Obviously he's been in battle, but yeah, these are massive. His legs look like the legs from the Odin Build-A-Figure, but again, I'll probably compare that after. He comes with a harness for another weapon that comes out, which is a tiny little knife. I don't know why you'd need that knife when you have that knife. Look at the size difference between those two. This is clearly the knife for his son. But yeah, that goes in there, fits in there quite snug to be fair. He's got a tiny bit of armor damage on his chest plate. I've got a bit of scuffing in my paint, which I'm never too happy about. Again, the helmet, interchangeable, comes off. Can you see his head? Try and focus. It's a bit dark, but yeah, he just looks a bit special there, doesn't he? Not in a good way. But yeah, again, menacing figure. This figure was a Build-A-Figure a good few years ago now. And at the time, the Build-A-Figure was going for over £100 or $100 on eBay. So if you were brought in for that much money, that's not good, people. This guy is £25 in the UK, probably less in America. So yeah, pick him up single packed. Do not be paying stupid money on eBay. But he is quite a menacing comic book character. Obviously, had many battles with his brother in the comics, brother Hercules. So now we need an updated Hercules figure. But he has been part of the Avengers and the Dark Avengers with Norman Osborn, I believe. So I think people are going to be happy to have this guy. Big, bulky comic book character. Paint details are quite matte, but It's accurate to the comics. So yeah, no complaints with this figure, people. I will try my best, even though you should know Greek mythology, to sort of explain how he fits into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So yes, Ares, who is he?
This is the part of the video where we ask the question, who is he? And I try and give you a little bit of information on the character that this figure is inspired by. So, Ares, who is he? Ares is a character based on the Greek god of the same name from Greek mythology, the god of war Ares, the son of Zeus himself. Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, influenced by that, put him into the Marvel Universe, and he debuted in Thor 129 way back in June 1966. For the next 30 years, Ares would be a villain for mainly Thor and the Avengers, until he sort of changed his ways after Civil War and joined S.H.I.E.L.D's mighty Avengers. After Norman Osborn took over and made the Dark Avengers, Ares was a regular member of the team until his death in March of 2009, when he was ripped apart by Sentry.
There you go, so I hope that helped. Again, I do not claim to be an expert, but it is nice to have a little bit of information from the characters that these figures are inspired by. Here is Ares, the god of war, compared to Adam Warlock on your standard Bucky Cap Marvel Legend body, so it's an average size Marvel Legend. He's taken the mick out of Ares a little bit with his posing, looking down style look, but nevertheless, you can see that Ares towers above him and is very menacing and imposing compared to your average size male Marvel Legend. Angela here is an Asgardian, so she's taller than your average size female Marvel Legend, but these two go quite well together. Let me know in the comments below if these two have been in the comics together. I'm sure they have. They've both got white eyes and they've both got very mythological backgrounds. Mythological, it probably isn't a word, but it is now. But yeah, let me know if these two ever been together in the comics. Not in a relationship, just been on the same page. Here's Ares compared to Odin. Obviously, Odin's a character inspired by Zeus. So yeah, these two just work together, don't they, to be fair. Their feet, lower legs are very similar as well. I think they're the same mould. Knee pads look different, but the lower legs definitely look very similar. Again, they scale great together and they probably look together good on the shelf, if that makes sense. Probably where I'm going to put my Ares. Then lastly, here's Ares compared to all the other figures that I've reviewed in this wave so far, as in Lady Thor, Hela, and then Chris Hemsworth, MCU 4. You can tell how tall Hela is because she is virtually the same height without Ares' hat on in figure form, which shows how big, tall she is for a female figure. And she's going to fall. Her cape is quite heavy, to be fair. But yeah, again, the only thing I don't like about Ares is that he's constantly looking down. But I prefer this look on Ares compared to the way he looked in the Wonder Woman film. I liked Wonder Woman, just wasn't a big fan of Ares towards the end. He was meant to be the god of war and he was pretty meh. So yeah, final thoughts is this is a solid Ares figure if you want one. If you never got the builder figure from a few years ago, then this is definitely must get for you. There was a knockoff version going around on eBay that come with tons of accessories like a shield and some more swords and whatnot. So I thought we might get a shield with this one at least, but we just got these free 2 swords, well, sword, knife and an axe. So maybe if you have that bootleg version, it'll be good just to have some extra accessories. Not endorsing buying bootlegs, of course, but still. This guy is good if you wanted Ares. So yeah, all good. Anyway, my name's been Dan W. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. There's a playlist where I'm reviewing all the figures in this rave. This is clearly not a rave. In this wave. So yeah, subscribe and I will see you at the next rave. Pow.